So today we are going to understand the logical architecture of the database. In the previous session we saw the physical architecture of the database, like files and file groups. So let's recap on what we have discussed as part of physical architecture, files and file groups. Let's see here. So we are going to see that a database can have more than one file, right? There should be definitely minimum two files. One is MDF file, another one is LDF file. And the data files, when we say data file, that can be either MDF or NDF files, that is part of file groups. And when we are going to say data file, that can be either MDF or master data file or secondary data file. And all LDF files, we can have one or more than one transaction log files in a database. And see that here in this diagram we have two transaction log files. So we say all these two transaction log files just like a normal transaction log files. And the data files, there should be one MDF, only one master data file, guys, in a database, only one master data file. And we can have more than one or more than one secondary data files. You see that whatever data files we have, all these data files we added on the file groups only. You see that primary file group, we added these three data files on this primary file group. And there is another two data files, MDF4 and NDF3. These two data files are added on a FG1 file group. Okay. See now here, this is what the data files always we are going to add it on a primary file, file groups. And from these file groups, when we are going to create the tables, and we will add those tables on the specific file groups. Then what will happen? Then when we start storing the data into that specific table, that data will go to the corresponding files in that file group. Okay. So now see here, this is what the same thing. Now let's say table T1 we created in a primary file group, table T2 we created in a FG1 file group. So any data we are inserting in a table T1, that will go to the files which are under primary file group, that will go to this file, and this file is there in a C drive. And similar way, table T2, whatever data we are inserting in a table T2, that will go to FG1 file group, that will go to this file. That this file is there in a D drive. For suppose, let's assume in the table T2 I stored 1 GB amount of data in the table T2. Then that 1 GB amount of data will go and store in this file, in the NDF file, in the secondary data file, that is on a D drive. That means this file size will increase. When we start storing huge amount of data across these tables, then the corresponding data files size will grow, because whatever data we are inserting in the table, physically that data will go and store across these data files. Okay, this is fine. This is what we discussed in the last session, and also we have created some of the tables by specifying the file groups. Okay, this is fine, perfect. So now we are moving on to the logical architecture of the database. So as part of logical architecture, we are going to discussing pages and extents. Yes, we are going to see pages and extents, and we have different types of pages are there. So data pages, text and text pages, index pages, gap. So this is all different pages, and again we will come back to this page, this file, and we'll discuss on here. And now here we are going to see the logical architecture of the database. So let me open this physical architecture, database architecture. Okay guys, so now we are going to see how this architecture. So now let me recap on that quickly. See that here guys. Just a minute guys. Okay. So now here, let's say this is my database, right? And in this database, let's say I have the files. Let's say this is my MDF or NDF, whatever it is. Let's say this is my MDF file, right? Or NDF, master data file or secondary data file, and this database will have LDF. That is what we are going to say, transaction log file. So now here guys, you observe this one. So now whatever data we are storing in the tables, that data will go and store in the data files. But there is a separate usage. So then what is the usage of LDF files? There are something we are going to discuss about the LDF files in the later sessions. So now we are going to focusing on data files, that is MDF or NDF. So now here let's say this is my table, and in this table we are start storing the data. Whatever data we are storing in this table, that will ultimately go and store in this data file. Inside this data file it will store. How it will store inside the data file? That's what we are going to see that. You can take either MDF, master data file, or secondary data file. Every data file will contain pages. Inside the data file we will see pages. This is what one page. Like this we will see lot of pages. Inside a data file, any data file, we will see the pages, guys. Inside the data file, a master data file or secondary data file, we can see the pages like this. It's we can say these are like a blocks, but that right term is a page. Okay. So now like this we will see so many pages. What these pages will store inside these pages? Inside that file we are having a lot of pages, and all these pages, each page size is 8 KB. I am unable to draw the same size of the page, guys. I am just drawing the square boxes, or each square box is nothing but one page. Okay, and inside these pages it will start storing the data. Inside each page we will see, this is all the pages are there inside my data file. Inside the data file I just written here total how many? 16 pages, and like this we can have so many pages inside a data file. I just mentioned example here 16 pages. And how a page looks like, sir? First of all, this is the page, these are the pages. Inside the pages it will start storing the data inside these pages. Whatever data we are storing in this table, that same data will go and store inside the file. Inside the file we are having pages, and that data will go and store inside the pages. This is all we are going to say pages. This is all we are going to say pages. This is all my pages. And now here how a page, one page looks like, sir. So how do we really understand a page? How a page looks like? Let's say now here each page, this is now I am going to say this is the page. Let's say this is one page, and this page is having 3 parts, guys. I am going to divide this page with 3 parts. This is one part, top one, and the bottom is another part. Total 3 parts. This is now we are going to say one page. Inside the data file we are going to see the pages, and I am talking about one page. So this page, this part is going to refer as a page header, guys. This is what I am going to say, that page header. Page header. And this part is going to refer as a offset, page offset. Page offset. Page header and page offset. And now here we are going to refer this middle part as a body of the page. So now what is the purpose of this page header, page offset, all that? In every page will be the same structure. So page header will store the details of the page. So now total the page size, every page size is 8 KB, guys. Every page size is 8 KB. 8 KB. Within this 8 KB, 96 bytes will be allocated to store page header details. 96 bytes will be allocated to store this page header. So within this 96 bytes, what information it will store? That's very important. Within this page header, in this area, guys, in this area I am talking. In this area, what information it will store? This whole area together is a 96 byte space. This whole together, and within this area it will store some information. What information it will store? So now here that information is stored in the blocks, in terms of bits. It will store all that details in that 96 bytes space. It will store some details. What details it will store? So now here I am going to write down that information. What is the required information? I am going to write it here. It will store the type of the page, what type of page it is, some information about the type of the page, and the page ID. Every page will have one ID, guys. So now here in this diagram we have total 16 pages, and every page will have one ID. Let's say this is now page P1, this is page P2 and P3, something like that. Every page will have one ID, P5, P6, P7 and P8. You can give any number just for our reference and understanding purpose. I said P1, P2, P3, something like that. And this is a P9. Similar way, this is a P9 and a P10 and a P11 and page 12 and page 13 and page 14 and page 15 and page 16. Okay, these are the pages, and type of page and page ID. So in the header will store what is the previous page and next page, previous page details and the next page details. What is the next page? We will see that how do we understand what is the meaning of previous page and the next page. All that we'll see one by one. And also free space, how much free space is there and how much it is occupied. These details also will be stored in these are page headers. So along these are the required details. Along with that, it will store some more other details. We don't worry about those details. So all these details will be stored within this 96 bytes of space over here. And now here this is fine. And now how it will store, sir? Let's assume this is my table. This is now my employee table. And now this is ID of the employee, name of the employee, and some salary. When we start storing, let's assume this. Sorry guys. Now let's assume. Now my employee table is occupied this page. Okay. And now ID of the employee and the name of the employee and the salary of the employee. Let's assume how this will store. Let's say employee ID 1, name is Mike, salary is 1000. So how this record will store that data? That data will store in this page like this. It will start storing here, Mike. Guys, it will follow some algorithms, and so now every record will have internally one ID. So I am going to make this ID as something like this. And second record, Scott and 2000. So now second record, Scott, sorry, spelling mistake, Scott 2000 and ID of that record, second record. And let's say third record, and PT and salary is 1100. And this third record also will store here, the PT 1100 and the record ID. So every record, whatever record it is going to store inside the page, every record will have its internal one ID. Every record, this XXX refers to the ID of the records. Okay, just we don't have control on that. Even we can't see that IDs also. It's for internal ordering purpose. It will maintain these IDs to identify the particular record. It is using that IDs, so we can. Okay, this is what the body of the page. In the body of the page, we can see what data we are storing in the table. Same data we can see inside the body of the page. And what about this offset? How many records are there in this page? How many rows it is stored right now? 3 rows. Because these 3 rows are occupied my page, and there is no space to occupy one more record, right? So then it will go to next page. Then that employee table is in now. Let's assume this is page P1. This is page P1. Now the page P1 is occupied by my employee table, and now there is no space in this page P1. Then employee table will occupy another page, page P2, and P2 also filled. Then it will occupy another page, page P3, and this page is occupied half of the page. In the meantime, I have another tables. I have another table. Let's say I have so many other tables. Let's say this is now department table, and I have so many other tables like this in my database, and I am storing so much of data, and I have table T1. See now, and we are going to store more and more data now here, table T1. So now let's say this page may be occupied by DAPT table. So that means this whole page will store only the records from DAPT table only. Don't assume, sir, in single page can we store the 2 tables records? No. One page is always occupied by one table only. So now here this table, this DAPT is stored only 50% of page. 50% of page is free. Now I am going to store the table T1. Table T1 will start occupy new pages. So now table T1. Once this table T1 is filled this page, then only it will go and occupy new page. Okay, this is fine. So now finally this is how the pages will be start allocated by different tables, and all these tables all these tables are using primary file group. Inside the primary file group, it is pointing out this file. So inside this file, we will see these pages, and these pages are occupied by different tables. Okay. So this is what the this is what the understanding of the pages. Okay, this is fine. So we are going to discuss again and again, guys. No problem. I will address these things again. First, let's finish this structure of the page. So now here this is page body. In the page body, we see that the records from the employee table, and here this is phase offset. In the phase offset, we can see all this. You can see this one by one. So this is phase offset. How many records are there in this page? Total 3 records are there. Then it will create 3 bits. This is 1 bit. How many records are there? Depends on that many number of bits will come here inside the page offset. So now here there is 3 records are there. Then 3 bits will come. This bit will represent, this first bit will represent information about the first record. Second bit will represent the information about the second record, and third bit will represent the information about the third record. What information it is going to refer? So this will represent the length, the distance from the starting position of this page to from here to here, how much distance it is, like in terms of number of bits, something like that. And from starting position of this page to starting position of this record, how much length it is, just for estimation purpose, how long it will take to read this record. So from here to here, what is the distance? That's what this offset will store the information. If you have 4 records, then 4 bits will come. If you have 10 records, then 10 bits will come in the offset, page offset. And each bit will store the information about each record, and that information is how far it is from the starting position of the page to up to here. I have these notes, guys. I will share these notes. Okay, that's what page offset. Okay, and this is what the page header is storing these details. So once this employee table is occupied, this page, automatically employee table will allocate, will get the new page. Automatically it will take new page. So now that is what we are going to say. And the employee table is occupied 2 pages or 3 pages. Okay. So this is what, guys, architecture of the page. How your page looks like this. Okay. So now we are moving on to the next file. Let me take the next file here. Okay. So now here, guys, same thing. We are going to see that again. We have these files, right? We have these files, and let me do one thing. I don't want to type these things again and again. Okay, guys. So let me take this one. What is happening? I don't know, guys. How this came. 1 minute, guys. Let me close it and open it. Just copy all this. All which is copied from my previous class notes, guys. I don't need all this. Let me delete all this. I don't know, guys, how I can delete this. Okay guys, sorry. So now here we can see that. So now we are going to see this one now. So next, so now let's assume, okay, I will type it again, no problem. I will write down the pages. So now let's see here again. So now inside my, let's say this is MDF, this is applicable for both the files guys. MDF or NDF, both will be the same behavior. So now this is the files. Let's say 3 third file and 4 files and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. So let me draw here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And let me put here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so okay, this is what, this is fine. This is all the files what we are seeing inside my data file. That can be MDF or NDF, whatever it is. And when these files got occupied, again that new files we keep on created the new files. It will keep on get the new files guys. Okay, let me do one thing. So it will keep on get the new files. We need some space among these pages. I am going to write the tables which are occupied by these pages. Okay. So now see here, this is let's say this is page P1, P2 and P3 and P4 and page P5 and page 6, page 7, page 8. And now here page 9 and page 10 and page 11, page 12 and page 13, page 14 and page 15 and page 16. Similarly page 17, page 18. Just for this is all IDs of the pages. Just for our understanding purpose I given page P1, P2 something like that. Page 23 and page 24. So total 24 pages. See now here this page can be occupied by table T1. It will start storing its data inside this page. Once this page is get filled, table T1 can occupy next page. Okay. Once this page is get filled, table T1 can occupy this page. So in the meantime, we are start storing the data into other tables also. Table T2 is occupying these two tables. Okay. And here the table T1 is occupied all this. And here again table T2 is occupied this. And table T3 is occupied this page. Okay, this is what. And now here in the similar way, all these pages will start occupying by different tables. So now here we have to understand. So there is no page can be occupied by two tables at a time, guys. At a time, one page cannot be occupied by two tables. That's very, very important because this page is only store the data from only one table. Even though the page is off, page is empty, that page will not store other tables data. That will store only one table data. That can be any table, but only one table data. Okay, this is what, guys. And one more thing here, we have to understand the extents. We are going to say now, we understand the page, and we'll talk more and more pages again next 2 or 3 days classes. And today we are going to see again extents. What is this extents here? Extent is nothing but a set of 8 pages is nothing but one extent. A group of, or a set, or a group of 8 pages. Pages is an extent. We are going to calling it as an extent. Let's say this set, I am going to say this is set of let's say this set I am going to consider as a one extent. This is set of 8 pages as a one extent, and this set of pages going to be considered as one extent. 8 pages only. One extent contain 8 pages, not less than 8, not greater than 8, exact equal to 8 pages. And this extent, every extent will have one ID. Let's say I am going to say this is E1, this is E2, extent E2, this is extent E3. So inside the file we have the extents, inside the extents we have the pages. Extent is nothing but just a group of 8 pages, that's it. Okay. So now here the extent E1, page P1 and page P2, see that how I am reading, guys. In the extent E1, page P1, page P2, page P3, P6 pages are occupied by table T1. So similar way, so let's say now here table T2, table T3 is occupied some more pages in the extent E2. Once this extent E1 is completely occupied all its pages, then the tables will start occupying the pages from another extents. Okay. Okay, something like that. That's it. So now we are not storing any other data. You see that extent E1, extent E2. So now here extent E1, all its 8 pages are occupied by different objects. One extent E1, all its 8 pages are occupied by different objects. Okay. So now similar way, let's say here the extent E3. Okay, let me fill this one also now. T4, T3, and table 4. Okay, these tables are occupied, these are pages. Okay, fine. And now here I have one table T5. I am storing huge amount of data in a table T5 now. Other tables I am not storing any data. Just table T5 is just start occupying, because other extents E1 and E2 no free pages. So table T5 will start using extent E3. So all these pages are going to be occupied by table T5. All these pages are occupying by table T5 because I am storing huge amount of data in a table T5. All these pages. See that all 8 pages are filled, all 8 pages are occupied by same object. So now here again we have two extents. One is a mixed extent. One is a mixed extent. Another one is uniform. Mixed extent means the extent which is allowing. Okay, let me do one thing. First one is uniform extent, guys. The first extent is uniform extent. Uniform extent. Uniform extent means that is the extent which is occupying all its 8 pages by same object. See that here all pages are occupied by same object, all its 8 pages. That extent, all 8 pages should be occupied. All 8 pages should be occupied by same object. Then we can say that is same object. Then we can say that is now uniform extent. Mixed extent means all other extents are mixed extents. All other extents. Maybe like so this is one extent E1, sir. It is occupied all pages by different objects E1, E2. Let's say E4 extent is here. E4 extent, and so this is one page, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 pages. And first few pages are occupied by different tables or same table. It doesn't matter. So now here this is a table. Let's say table T6 under table T6. Same table T6, but 4 pages are free. Still it is mixed extent only. So now here this is the extent E5, right? And it is occupied by different objects. But there are still some free pages are there. Still it is also mixed extent. Let's say this is a table T7, table T8, T9, T7. Still this E5 also considered as mixed extent. So the mixed extent means uniform extent means, so now the example here is, what is the example of the uniform extent in this diagram? E3. E3 is the uniform extent because all 8 pages are occupied by same object. Then we can say that is mixed uniform extent. And all other extents are going to be considered as a mixed extents. Mixed extent. So mixed extent means it may have, so that extent may have one empty space, at least one empty space. then we can say that is mixed extent. An extent, all 8 pages are occupied but different objects, then still we can say that is also mixed extent. So now here an extent which is having. So tomorrow session we will come to know that, guys, in detail. First, how the extents will get allocated. As soon as when get extent is allocated, what type of extent it is, that is mixed extent. Later, when a mixed extent will be automatically converted into the uniform extent. Okay. So an extent which is having at least one free page or all pages occupied by different objects, or all pages are occupied by different objects. Objects means tables, by different objects. It's nothing but tables. So this is what, guys, this is what mixed extents. Example for the mixed extents. What are the examples for the mixed extents, guys? So now here the example is, here in this case E1 is the mixed extent, E2 is the mixed extent, E4 is the mixed extent, E5 is the mixed extents. Okay, these are the extents. And tomorrow session will talk more and more about how a uniform extents and mixed extents will come together. How these uniform extents and mixed extents will be formed inside the database files. We'll see that on a tomorrow session. Okay, guys. So tomorrow session we'll talk more and more about this mixed extents and all. Yeah. So now here